All right, let's talk about something that's absolutely critical for any trader, but doesn't get talked about nearly enough. Mastering the psychology of taking a loss. See, it's not about trying to avoid losses. It's about learning how to handle them like a pro. So let's dive right in.
This quote just nails it, right? This is the core idea we're going to unpack today. We're not looking for some magic no-loss strategy, because, spoiler alert, it doesn't exist. It's all about building an unshakable mental framework. The real fight isn't with the market, it's with ourselves.
And that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? You know that feeling, that pit in your stomach after a trade goes south, that little voice in your head screaming, "Get it back, right now." We've all been there. So how do we silence that voice and let our rational mind take the wheel again? Let's break it down. Okay, first things first. We have to start with a fundamental truth. We have to accept deep down that losses aren't just possible, they are a mathematical certainty. They are a non-negotiable part of doing business in the markets.
Just think about that for a second. Even the pros, the ones with a great 70% win rate, are still losing 30% of the time. That means for every 10 trades, 3 are going to be losers. That's just the math. Once you really truly internalize this, a loss stops feeling like some personal failure and starts feeling like what it is, a normal, expected cost of doing business.
So here's the thing. The loss itself isn't what defines your trading day. It's the decision you make in those few seconds and minutes right after. It's a fork in the road. Are you going to stick to your plan, or are you going to let emotion grab the steering wheel and swerve down the path of revenge?
To conquer this emotional reaction, we first have to understand why it even happens. Our brains are actually hardwired with a few little quirks, cognitive biases, that make losing feel way more painful than it should. Let's look at the 3 biggest culprits behind revenge trading.
Okay, so the main one, the big one, is something called loss aversion. It's actually an old evolutionary thing. See, for our ancestors, losing their only meal was a much, much bigger deal than finding an extra one. Our brains are still running on that ancient software, which makes the pain of a loss feel way more intense than its actual financial hit. And it really breaks down like this. A $100 win feels pretty good, right? But a $100 loss? Oof, that feels about twice as bad. So the next time you feel that hot surge of frustration after a loss, just remember your brain is overreacting. It's not a rational signal to freak out. It's just your ancient wiring getting tripped.
And then you've got these 2 other mental gremlins. First is the illusion of control. This is when you feel like you did everything perfectly. Your analysis was spot on, your execution was clean, so the loss feels personal. It feels unfair. Then there's the gambler's fallacy. That's that seductive little lie your brain whispers that after a couple of losses, you're somehow due for a win. Both of these are total nonsense, statistically speaking, but man, they are powerful fuel for emotional mistake.
And when these psychological traps are sprung, they lead you directly into the most dangerous place a trader can be, the revenge trading trap. This is where one small, totally acceptable loss can quickly spiral into a catastrophic day for your account.
And here's the wild part. This isn't just in your head, it's physiological. A losing trade triggers a stress response. Cortisol starts flooding your system. And when that happens, your logical brain, the prefrontal cortex, kind of gets pushed to the side, and your emotional brain takes over. You are, quite literally, not thinking straight. And that is the absolute worst time to be making another financial decision.
Let's just walk through how this death spiral plays out. So a trader takes 3 normal, disciplined losses, according to their plan. It's a manageable drawdown. But then, the frustration kicks in. They take an impulsive trade to get it back. That one loses. Now they're in a panic, so they take one more, even bigger trade. And that one loses too. Now look at the result. The initial planned losses were just over a third of the day's damage. But those 2 emotional revenge-fueled trades, they caused almost 2/3 of the total loss. This is exactly how accounts get blown.
Okay, so we get the problem, we understand the psychology, enough doom and gloom. Now let's get to the most important part, the solution. This is the professional's playbook. These are concrete, actionable things you can do to build that wall of discipline. Seriously, if you only remember one single thing from our chat today, make it this. This one rule can be the emergency brake that stops that revenge trading spiral dead in its tracks.
15. That's the magic number. 15 minutes. After any loss, you are required to step away from your screen for a minimum of 15 minutes. I don't care what the market is doing. No exceptions. This isn't about missing opportunities. It's about giving those stress hormones in your brain time to fade away so your rational mind can come back online. Go for a walk. Get a glass of water. It might be the most profitable thing you do all day.
Okay, so once your 15 minutes are up, you come back to the desk. But you're not there to trade. You're there to analyze. You need to channel that energy into something productive. Ask yourself these questions and be brutally honest. Did the trade fit your plan? Was your size right? Would you take that same trade again tomorrow? If the answer to all of those is yes, then it was just statistics. It was a good trade that lost. You accept it as the cost of business and you move on emotionally clean.
Finally, you make your next move simple and objective with a decision matrix like this. It's black and white. Are you feeling totally neutral? Was the loss just part of the game? Okay, maybe you continue trading. But do you feel any urge to get it back? Have you hit a hard stop-loss limit you set for the day? Then you stop. Period. The market's going to be there tomorrow. Your number one job is to make sure your capital is too.
Okay, let's pull back and look at the big picture here. Because all this stuff, the discipline, the pauses, the analysis, it's how you build a long-term, profitable career. This isn't about winning one trade, it's about winning over thousands of them.
Now get ready for this, because this number is absolutely wild. Even if you have a fantastic 68% win rate, the probability of you hitting at least one streak of 4 losses in a row over 100 trades is about 86%. Let that sink in. A losing streak is not a sign that you're a bad trader or your strategy is broken. It is a mathematical certainty. The pros know this. They expect it, they plan for it, and it never, ever rattles.
And that, right there, is the fundamental difference. It's the split between the amateur and the pro. The amateur fights reality. They treat every loss like a personal insult and try to bend the market to their will. The professional? They accept reality. They know losses are coming, so they focus all their energy on managing them flawlessly. Their number one job isn't to make money, it's to protect the capital they already have.
Here is a mental shift that can change everything for you. Think of every loss, not as a failure, but as tuition you're paying to the market for your education. If it was a good trade that just didn't work out, that tuition taught you about probability. If it was a dumb, emotional trade, well, that tuition taught you a very valuable lesson about your own discipline. Either way, it's not a failure. It's an investment in you becoming a better trader.
And really, that's what it all comes down to, doesn't it? The loss is going to happen. That's inevitable. Your response to it, that's a choice. So what's it going to be? A moment of crisis that demands you do something impulsive, or a normal business event that demands you act like a professional? The answer you give to that question, over and over again, is what will determine your success in this game.